And so as you look at that, you've just had your unconscious mind dumped onto a whiteboard by some random stranger in Australia. So well done, you being brave.
Russelled. I don't know, is it, or
What's that?
It feels a bit like, I said, me head feels a bit overloaded.
Yes, of course. Well, we've just gone and extracted information out of it that's been hidden away. Okay, just starting the recording, and we're about to do a values session elicitation with Dave Small in UK, somewhere near Liverpool. I need to go and find you on the map, right? Just drop my little pen. And in the UK, and I'm in Surfers Paradise in the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. So, well, what are we doing here? We're doing a values elicitation, and just to give the context for the video, David, you were saying that you wanted to understand about why you would go towards things and then away from them in your career. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yep. And so, you know, whether you're selling your business and then you find yourself wanting to pull away from it, or you've gone towards something and then find yourself hesitating, there's these two bits that want a piece of the puzzle. And as we were saying before, it's all about, there's two parts of you that are pulling you apart a little bit. And so if we can get them on board, so you're a committee that's all on the same page internally, yeah, then it just becomes so much easier to start to then plan your day, your life, you know, your actions around your values, right? So it seems sort of esoteric, but it's actually really practical when you see, oh, how can I get this highest quality, you know, or highest value? All right, so what we do is I'm just going to write some words on the board based on the very, very simple question, what's important to you in the context of your, we'll use the word career, but and it'll be your context of career, you know, being entrepreneurial or being, you know, what's important to you. And you're going to come up with a bunch of words that'll come out. They might come out as values. We'll just write down all the words and then we'll figure out which ones are really values. And then we'll categorize them later. And put them in order later, right? But first, we're just going to go through. What we'll do is we'll come up with a bunch of words, and then we'll hit the first boundary, which is where you'll run out of ideas, right? The first sort of, oh, okay, I'm done. I can't think of any more words. And then I'll help you get through that, and then we'll keep going, and we'll make our way until you run out of ideas again, a second boundary. And by the time we get to the second boundary, we may get a few words after that might be gold, or not, but either way, by the time we've done that, we've got enough values out of you to then say, all right, we've got 10, 20, 30 values, whatever it might be, it's up to you. And then after that, we'll number them as in order of importance. And when you do that, you'll realize, oh, you know, there might be 3 values you've got over here that fit underneath this other big one that sort of represents all of those ones. And then you'll group them and cluster them, and you'll get yourself a list. And by the time you got that list, check in with your system. And that's the process we'll go through now. And as I said before, the values that you create, you can then look at the list and then do all sorts of things with the values neurologically to shift them inside yourself later on, which might lift up. Like my story, I lifted discipline in starting my new business from number 41 or 2, whatever it was, up to number 6, because I figured that's in the wrong place, right? So we'll find a situation that works for you. Okay, let's have a crack. So the first one is, what's important to you? And I'll put the word career. I'll put, my pen's a bit dodgy there. Let me get me another pen. I'll put the word career, right? So your career, what's important to you in the context of your career?
Money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Security. Happiness.
Happiness, yep. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So what's important to you in the context of your career? You got money, security, and happiness. What else is important to you?
The word variety is coming up.
Yep. Perfect.
Challenge.
Challenge.
Success.
Great. What is important to you in the context of your career? And along the way, you can also think about what does it get you, when you have these things. What does it give you or get you? So what's important to you in the context of your career? Money, security, happiness, variety, challenge, success. What else is important to you?
To feel it's important.
Mm-hmm. Feel it's important.
Yeah, to feel it's worthwhile what I'm doing, the work I'm doing.
Yep, worthwhile.
And mine's gone blank.
Okay. What does worthwhile get you?
It's sort of to know that what so particularly this business is it's difficult. It's worthwhile. It's it's valuable.
Valuable. Okay. And what's important about it being valuable?
It's supposed to be acknowledged.
Yeah. And what do you get by being acknowledged?
Satisfaction, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. And what's important about satisfaction?
Being contented.
And what does contented get you?
Probably peace.
Mm. Nice. And what else is important to you in the context of your career?
Variety.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Good variety. Excellent. What anything else important to you in the context of when you're going towards something or away from something? What does it get you?
I suppose it's, I mean, help. It's come up a word called help.
So you're helping others, or what does that mean?
Yeah, helping others. Yeah.
Yep.
Being of good service.
Being what, say?
Of good service.
Good service.
Yeah. Providing a good service.
And what's important about good service?
Gets you thinking this, doesn't it?
It does stir the mind indeed. So you're giving good service. What's important about giving good service? What's the picture in your mind you get when you're giving good service?
I suppose acknowledgement. I think words come up, acknowledgement.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great. And so what's the feeling that you get when you get that acknowledgement?
Yeah, it feels good.
It's good.
Yeah.
What's the emotion?
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction. Beautiful. And so is there anything else important to you in the context of your career?
It's, it's just about helping others, really.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah. Anything else important to you in the context of career?
No.
Okay, beautiful. So I just put a line there. We'll call that boundary condition 1. And so as you go through, got money, security, happiness, contented, peace, variety, challenge, success, satisfaction, helping others, good service, acknowledged, valuable, worthwhile, and you feel it's important. And so in the context of your career, I mean, you got the human needs as well that you could throw into the conversation. You got those things that are really important. What were the human needs? They were being important. Well, I think you've got that in there. Feeling importance, or that significance is what Tony Robbins would use. You'd have variety. You've got variety in there. It's one of the human needs. He's got love and connection, and that could be in there, and contribution, which is kind of mixed in with his helping others, isn't it? That's your words for that. And just popped off there. Someone's calling. Oh, there we go. Back again. And so if you think about, when you've gone towards opportunities, when you've gone away from opportunities, or when all of that's gone on in your life in the past, what else is important to you in the context of your career?
To make a difference, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, so making a difference. And so you're making a difference. What's important to you about making a difference?
It's helping somebody, or it's helping somebody achieve or be what they want to be.
So you're helping someone achieve slight difference than helping others, right? Oops. So we'll say helping
Yeah.
others achieve.
Yeah.
And so when you're helping others achieve, and you're watching them, expand, grow, learn, whatever achieving means to you, and you're thinking about, and you're helping people making a difference, you're making a difference, you're helping others achieve. What's important about helping others achieve?
It's just helping them.
And so what do you get by helping them?
Freedom.
Excellent. And so what's the emotion you get from freedom?
The emotion.
Is there an emotion? Or what's important about freedom?
Happiness.
Happiness. And what do you get from this happiness? What's important about this happiness?
Purpose.
Purpose. Excellent. And what's important to you about purpose?
Feel a bit stuck.
What's that?
I said I feel stuck.
It's okay. And so that could be our second boundary condition. And so now we'll just check in and see if there's any other words that might be floating around there. As we go through our list, you got money, security, happiness, contented, peace, variety, challenge, success, satisfaction, helping others, feeling it's important, worthwhile, valuable, acknowledged, and good service, which then led to making a difference. You're thinking about all those times, you're going to your database, right? And your self-concept of making a difference. You're going to that database of helping others achieve. And then, later on, we'll talk about the context of that. But you've got a whole database of pictures, feelings, internal, external, all sorts of things. It leads you to freedom and happiness. Freedom, it could be their freedom, or it might be your freedom because you've helped them. I'm not sure what it would be. Which leads you to a purpose. And that kind of follows a nice chain, and you end up with this purpose, which is that driving force when you're moving towards something, right? And when you're moving away from something, maybe security, it might be sort of stopping you leaving, say, the knife sharpening business, but there's a purpose that's bigger. And so it's about which is the bigger, it's a bit like you got the sun and the earth goes around the sun. But you've got the earth and the moon goes around the earth. Yeah. So it's like, well, how does that work? Well, the biggest mass attracts things, right? So you want to get whichever value is controlling the system and realize that your dream is bigger and build that vision so it's got more weight, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so when you think about, your career, you think about when you've gone towards things, away from things, you've made decisions. you've been energized, you've been depleted, all those different situations, all those different stories. Is there anything else that's important to you in the context of your career?
The word predictability is coming up. I don't like being it's predictable. I think that's what's followed a lot of my career or my business. The businesses that I've taken up, it's become predictable, and I found that boring.
Mm-hmm. So predictable was an away from situation.
Yeah.
And so what's the value you're chasing then when it's become predictable? It's boring. So variety.
Yeah.
So variety, right. So variety is important to you. Once you've mastered the skill, you've done the learning, you're then in a bit of a routine. There's a point where, where's the growth, right? So
that's it. I feel trapped.
Trapped. And so what's the opposite to trapped? What's the value you when you're feeling trapped?
Freedom.
Freedom. Okay. Versus trapped. And then all the contextual conversations and in the database, so to speak, would come out after that. So that's coming up a few times now. So that's great to hear. So we'll just check in that we haven't missed anything that's important to you in the context of your career, and what these things might get you or give you, or how it may make you feel. Is there anything else that's important to you in the context of your career? When you were energized and when you weren't? Because the negative words are just as valuable as the positive words, because it gets to the bottom of your value.
Feeling it's worthwhile, I suppose.
All right. And so, would you say that's all the words you've got left? Is there any other words?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're feeling like you're at the end. Cool. So we've gone through our 2 boundary conditions. It's stirred up your brain. We've started to loop back on some of the similar words, which is perfect. And that tells me we're getting to some important sort of things. Now we've got this list, and my writing was a bit small at the top. My apologies. It got bigger as it went down. So you got this great little list here. I'm trying to bring it a bit closer. There we go. And as we go through our list, and you can look at this, you've got, I'll read through them, especially the small ones. You've got money, security, happiness, contented, peace, variety, challenge, success, satisfaction, helping others, feeling good, it's important, worthwhile, valuable, acknowledged, and good service, which led us into making a difference, helping others achieve, which is kind of an extension of that, or it could be different. We'll find out in a minute, which led to a feeling of freedom and happiness and purpose, which is some really cool words. Then we came down to predictable being the negative words. Let's put a line through that, because that's the opposite. So we figured out we wanted some bit more variety, which you've already got up there. And then you want freedom, which you've already got over here. So I'll remove those from there because they're like double ups, and the trapped thing. And the worthwhile feeling, worthwhile is already up there as well. So you can see how we were looping through it. So we'll just get rid of those because we were starting to repeat the words, which is a good sign. So now that we've got rid of what's below that line and we start looking through here, which is the number one thing for you?
Right. Okay.
Money, security, happiness, contented, peace, variety, challenge, success, satisfaction, helping others, feeling it's important, worthwhile, valuable, acknowledged, good service, making a difference, helping others achieve, and we'll figure out if that's different later on, freedom, happiness, and purpose. Which one's number one?
Purpose.
Purpose. Great. So you got a purpose. So what would be number two? We'll number them all.
Freedom.
Freedom. Number three.
Helping others.
So helping others or helping others achieve, are they the same thing or different?
I've always been helpful anyway, and I'm helpful for my customers. I'm helpful with family and friends. So I would just say it's help.
Helping others. Yeah, this one?
Yeah.
Three. Bit of self-concept for later on. I've always been helpful. something useful for later on, as you well know. Okay, so you got purpose, freedom, helping others. What's number four?
Money.
Five.
Security. Can you read out some more?
Yep. We got variety, challenge, success, satisfaction, happiness, contented, peace, feel it's important, worthwhile, valuable, acknowledged, and good service, making a difference, helping others achieve, and happiness. I think we've got happiness twice. Making a difference.
Yeah.
6. Excellent. So just realised we've got happiness twice. So I'll just put a line through that one because we've got it up there, doubled up.
Yeah.
But it's good to know the double ups because it's a bit of a clue. Okay, so what is number 7? We've got happiness, contented, peace, variety, challenge, success, satisfaction, feeling it's important.
Success.
Success.
Yeah, success.
Success. I should put on this side. Helping others is 3. On this side, 7 is success. Okay. Let's put that over there. Make sure it's nice and clear. Yep. Number 8.
Then happiness.
Happiness. 8. Number 9.
Variety, I suppose.
9. Number 10.
Acknowledged.
There you go, over there. Number 10. Yep.
What's left?
We have contented, challenge, satisfaction,
challenged.
And after challenge, we have contented, feel it's important, worthwhile, valuable, good service, satisfaction.
Valuable.
Valuable. Where'd you go, valuable? Over there. 10, 11, that's 12. That one. Number 13, we have contented, satisfaction.
Yeah, satisfaction. And then
content.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've done all these ones. Our peace is here.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace. Okay. Then we have feel it's important, worthwhile, good service, helping others achieve.
Helping others achieve.
15. And then we have left feeling it's important, worthwhile, and good service.
Good service.
Ben?
And then what's left again? Sorry, last
feel,
two.
Feel it's important or worthwhile.
Worthwhile.
And then feel it's important is number 18.
Yeah.
Now you can always look at this, reflect on it, and you might decide it goes slightly different, but this is the process. Let me just rewrite these out. I'll chop it out of the video later on. All right, so number one, we had purpose. Number two, we had freedom. Number three, we had helping others. Number four, where did you go? Number four, 6, 5, money. Number 5, and security. 6, we had making a difference. Seven, success. 8, happiness. 9, variety. 10, we had acknowledged. 11, challenge. 12, valuable. 'Up here, I'll put in, let's start here, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And a good service. Is worthwhile. It was important. 15 was achieve, helping others achieve. Which may be its own little category, that's fine. 14, where are we? 14, contented. 13. There you go, that's satisfaction. Okay. So there you go, bigger writing this time so you can see it. It's when you look at that, does it feel correct? Does it feel solid? When we go, purpose is number one, need to have a purpose.
Yeah.
Just that why factor I think we were talking about before. That gives you a freedom because you feel like you're now working within something that's important to you.
Yeah.
Helping others is that thing. Money and security, obviously you've had triplets, right? And now they're growing up and there's things you need to have money and security to make sure you're all good. Making a difference is important to you. Success, happiness, variety, acknowledged, challenged, valuable, satisfaction, contented, helping others achieve, good service, worthwhile, and important. And so as you look at that, you've just had your unconscious mind dumped onto a whiteboard by some random stranger in Australia. So well done, you being brave.
Ruffled. I don't know if it's meant, is it, or
What's that?
It feels a bit like, I said, me head feels a bit overloaded.
Yes, of course. Well, we've just gone and extracted information out of it that's been hidden away. So as you reflect on this in this overloaded state, how does that feel? Does that start to give you any kind of insight as to when you've gone towards things and away from things?
Yeah.
What's the ahas you're getting?
I mean, the purpose, what I'm doing with careers that I've chosen, there's been no purpose with it. It's just not resonated. It's not. It's a people service, but it's not. I think the purpose I'm looking for is the purpose to help others, have better lives, I suppose.
So purpose is connected to helping others. And for them to have better lives is kind of connected there as well.
Yeah. And give them freedom and myself freedom.
And you give them freedom and self. So self plus others. So in your careers, when you're helping others get freedoms in others, you're also giving freedom to yourself because you're giving a great service in a variety of ways. Which is giving you that purpose. And of course, once you got these three lined up, then the money and the security come.
Yeah.
You're providing value and people pay for value. And of course, that all leads to making a difference because once you've figured out these three, delivering those two, you know you're making a difference, which feels successful because you're fulfilling your purpose of helping others get freedom. So of course, you got the success and you're paying your bills. Which leads to a happiness. And, you're looking after your girls, you're looking after your partner, your wife, you're looking after everything. You're going to have some variety if you're helping others get freedom as your purpose. You're going to feel acknowledged because you've helped others achieve to freedom. So, of course, you're going to be acknowledged by it, even if it's only internally. Man, that's cool. You nailed that. That's so awesome. It's going to be a challenge because these people clearly can't do this for themselves, this freedom piece and this achieving piece. They can't do it, right?
No.
And of course, when you've overcome that challenge, you're feeling valuable, which leads to a satisfaction, which makes you feel contented because you helped others achieve with a great service that was worthwhile and important. There you go.
There you go. I'm solved.
There you go. So there you go. There's just the story of your life, just spelled out in 18 words.
Oh, thanks. Wow.
So do you think that's valuable to think about the next steps in your life? Well, I guess let's talk about when you've gone towards something. I mean, you were talking about selling a business, and it wasn't giving you the purpose of helping others, right? But it is giving you money and security, which is leading to a form of freedom, but it's not necessarily your spiritual freedom. It's just the freedom where you're not necessarily in a job because you're working for yourself. So you've got to sort of resolve, and this is where you can do some self-concept work. In old mate Steve Andreas can help us out with that. And to look at, right, where in this is where we can see it's like a barometer now. We've got our barometer, we've got our compass, and we can figure out where north is and start to navigate your system. And
Yeah.
as you think about this, and you think about where, okay, you're going to sell a business, but then you find yourself almost pulling away from it. Is there a
Yeah.
way that you can get these top 5 met so you can continue on that making a difference piece and still sell the business if that's appropriate? I mean, this is the conversation inside yourself. I think knowing this will make any self-concept work we do super valuable, because we'll start to unpack a value inside yourself or a quality inside yourself. And you could call these qualities as well. But when you find yourself moving, you know, for example, if selling the business is the outcome, and we get clear on that outcome, if that is the outcome, and you've got another money-making machine coming, then if that's the goal, well, then let's get clear on what's the part of you. And we could do parts integration. You could do, you know, they call it a visual squash. I'm going to have to practice the visual squash part. I think what I'm doing is a visual squash. It wasn't called a visual squash when I learned it. But there's in the parts integration, there's also the written form. I've seen Damon Cart do that, where he does a written form of a parts integration, where you just basically work out what's important about it. I was kind of doing a little bit of that with you today, but not in a parts integration where there's 2 parts that are conflicting. And so if you're going towards this thing that I'm going to sell it, the 2 parts are probably trying to get the same result. You know, the 2 parts might be actually trying to get to the same point of, you know, making a difference or freedom or whatever it might be. But of course, they're doing it in different ways, because you might be trying to get freedom by holding on to the business and not selling it. But you also might be trying to get to freedom personally by having the purpose of helping others achieve, right? Which might be a more important thing. It's a practical part of living in the world. And so if you can resolve that you can have this freedom piece, and you'll have money and security to fund that, and you'll be in a perfectly good place if you sell the business, and that you can do it, and whether that's through coaching or however else you've helped people entrepreneurially in the past. It sounds like you've got an entrepreneurial spirit where you can turn a dollar from the market by seeing a gap, right? You can figure it out. And so as you reflect on this, do you see how the conflict could be 2 parts? Well, like, what would the 2 parts be when you've had that conflict?
Well, it's obviously wanting freedom and feeling trapped, and obviously with the variety as well, is it's monotonous. It's just doing the same thing day in, which was what I've been all my businesses, and I've always had conflict. That's why I've had conflict, because it's been monotonous. It's the same thing day in, day out, you know.
And so how could you build the variety? Because the variety is coming into it here. How could you build the variety into your business? And is variety in the right place on this list, in this conversation? I suppose it's very contextual, right? This is your general list, which is probably spot on. But then as we focus in on the selling of the business, the variety, is that higher, or is it in the right place?
No, I'd say it's in the right place.
Okay. But it's an important piece for what you're talking about. The trapped means you don't have the freedom, you don't have the variety, which is probably leading to all these other things.
Yeah.
And so for you, can you see a way, if you think about the creative part of your mind, there's a creative part. Is there other ways that you could develop a business that gives you the variety, that gives you the money and the security, and leads to the freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would be an example, just to sort of give me a context?
Well, I mean, we do refurbs on houses basically as well. We run a business, but we've needed the capital to do that. Now I'm starting to get it. which that would give us the freedom because we'd earn more money, and I wouldn't need doing it day in, day out. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. Yeah, because some refurbs are just little kitchen fit outs or whatever.
Well, I mean, it'd be me managing lads to go in to make the place look shiny new, but I wouldn't need to be there day to day. So I could do other things. So that would give me the freedom, and that would give us the money, and that would give us the time to do sort of, you know, self-help or whatever, helping other people.
So it would open the door that you wouldn't be trapped. You could be helping others, which leads to your purpose. Yeah. You get the temporary the freedom in the short term.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
then it would be, you know, it gives us that sort of the finances. If we wanted to go back into helping people, which I get pulled into, it's an unconscious thing. I just feel like it. I feel like a magnet getting pulled. That it would give me the sort of the finances to, whilst I was, you know, working on that business and drumming customers up and so forth.
Right. And so do you feel that if you think about the, that's like in Steve Andreas' book, he talks about scope and category, and he talks about when you're choosing the next business idea, like with the building business, with the renovations or the fit out business, does that mean that you'll get the variety that will relieve, that would take away the anxiety of being trapped?
Yeah, it give me variety because, you know, it wouldn't be the same thing every day. It'd be different challenges. So,
and is there any resistance? Like, can you ask your unconscious mind, is it okay for you to pursue that direction?
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. No resistance.
No,
that's good. So there's no resistance, and you're thinking about that. You're thinking about what's going on. You'll get your variety. You'll get the happiness. The success will come. You'll be making a difference because you'll have the freedom to spend some time on the self-development side and your self-concept work. And we could do some more stuff together. And we could do, you know, you could be trialing some of this stuff out on myself or whatever it might be in an exchange, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
And so as you now thinking about into the future, and you're going into the future, you're doing the renovations, you're doing that work, you're managing them, but the tradies or the tradespeople, or as we say tradies in Australia, the tradespeople or the contractors if you're in America, or the workers are coming to do the work on the place, and you're just really just popping in saying, you do this, you do this, you do this, and then you go off and then come back and then check up on them. And that's pretty much your job, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're managing those people, and then you've got time for your daughters, and you've got time, and you're earning enough money, and you've got enough security, pay the bills, can you tap into your purpose? Like, what's the purpose? Is it helping others? That's the real driver here.
Yeah.
You said over here, I've always been helpful. I'm always helping other people. I'm always helping here, helping there. It's part of who you are, which is a positive. It's a good quality to have, right?
Yeah.
You got your values to play with as well. And what a great session. Well done.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
No problem. Lovely to meet you properly.
All right, Matt.
Mate. You have a good evening or day, morning over there. It's 10 o'clock here, but I'll sign off, and we'll be in touch and we'll talk soon.
Take care. Thanks for your help.
Take care. No, my pleasure, mate. Great session. Well done. Thanks for playing along.
Right.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Cheers,